Here is the Thane board. I'm going to talk about something real quick that I didn't mention on the other two boards. So you've been seeing the front side of the board for all the ones we've talked about, Quartermaster, Keeper Names, now Thane. But on the back side of this board, we have a brief description of kind of what the Thane's responsibilities are, and a setup for how this character will be set up every time you start a game.
So how do you play the Thane?
So the Thane is a guy who likes to hear himself talk, and he wants other people to hear him talk too. But let's take a look at his renown bonus. It says at the end of each camp you gain renown equal to the Keeper of Names Thane bonus. Yeah, we already talked about that in the Keeper of Names board. If he can convince, or being in events that he knows is going to gain the Warband troops, he's going to start getting more renown, more power. The more people there are to listen to his speeches, the stronger he becomes.
But he also is required to spend it in a lot more places.
Yes, he has a lot. He has a lot of, not necessarily responsibilities. He can really swing battles quite easily by performing speeches. But let's go ahead and go across the top, and we'll look at his camp action. It's like, oh, he can scout. This is important because if he has an Eagle Eye, which you'll see on the right side of his board, it allows him to draw cards from the event deck and then an additional card for every Eagle Eye. So he could actually pick, it's possible if there's enough Eagle Eyes in the Warband, he could pick up the entire event deck for this season, look through it, and, you know, take a card, put it on top, and then, you know, put the other ones on bottom.
Yeah, he doesn't get to look at the back of the card, he just gets to look at the front of the card.
Yeah, he knows what choices, though. There could be an external event where maybe the Warband's not ready for a war.
Right.
And he sees the next card was a war. But the one after it is just an external event, which is like them making a choice in a scenario. Right. If you look at his city action, it says, you know, tavern, and, you know, so essentially he can go, whenever they're in a city, he can spend renown in a tavern to increase his deeds of valor skill. Anytime he gets a victory piece, and this can happen in one of two ways. One, he pays for it, paying 2 renown to add a victory token to the board.
He's going to boast in the tavern. He's going to talk about...
He's buying drinks.
Yeah, he's talking about how cool he is.
Yeah. The other way to get deeds of valor is every time he or one of his followers kills a enemy in a skirmish, he adds another deed of valor token. If this fills up, they all go away, and he's allowed to immediately, for free, upgrade his bannerman 1 level. And it's very important because it gives him a way to not have to spend more renown to buy another thing, since he's going to be doing that a lot. Another important thing to note on these boards...
A leader is known by his actions.
He has a Memories of the Fallen section. What this section is for is anytime the Warband either loses a tent of troops from the Keeper of Names board, or one of the followers or bannermen's defeated in a skirmish, he has to add a token to this board. Boom. It's just to show losses. People are getting a little afraid because the funeral pyres are being lit, and it's like, Thane, what are you doing?
You're not just sending little boats down the river, you're sending giant barges of people down the river.
Enough losses occur during a skirmish, or, you know, war event where tents are being lost, or regular events.
Or a choice.
Yep.
Yeah.
If this fills up, additional people are going to be leaving the Warband because they're losing faith in the Thane. And this is going to cost the Warband, you know, morale, and it's going to cost them troops.
It will also cost the Thane renown because he doesn't get his Thane bonus as much.
Right. So it's not good. And the really bad thing is, let's just say we're here, right? I've got 2 Memories of the Fallen tokens and 2 Deeds of Valor tokens. Whenever I add a 3rd token to either one of these spots, all tokens go away.
Yeah, it's a race. These are like scales of justice, if you will, and you can do good, or you can do good, or you can do bad, and whichever happens first and fills up, it clears and resets.
In other words, that's what people are going to remember about you. Did you bring it, or did you? If you had that 3rd failure, they forgot all your good deeds.
Yeah.
So, Favors is the special ability that when he's doing this, like anytime he gets renown, and this is including the start of the game.
I think this is the next stretch goal, by the way. The Favors, yeah. Yeah,
the favor tokens. He can bank renown, and he'll just decide how much he wants to put in a speech. So let's just say I wanted to start off the game. I only want 1 renown to my name, and I'm going to put all 3 in rally. Okay, once it gets up to 3 renown tokens, which is the cost here, you would discard them, and you gain this favor token. Now, actually owning the favor token, it gives the Thane Bannerman a bonus.
Right.
So you see it says ignore shield. So like if he encounters an enemy and that enemy has a shield token, well, it's not going to absorb the first attack for him. He's just going to wound the guy and kill him, which is good. He can spend those favors to do other things. So let's just say we go into a skirmish and Warmaster hasn't been doing his job. So we don't have a lot of group willpower. The Thane can choose to discard this token, and if he does, he'll add 2 willpower to the group willpower board.
So favors, if they're present, provide these passive bonus. Ignore shield, gains shield, or +2 movement.
Those are all for his Bannerman only.
Yes, and then they can be spent to add these bonuses, and you can have you can have all 3 favors, and you can spend all 3 at once if you need to.
Yep.
So during a war event, increase the banner rank by 1 rank. During camp only, consume half rations rounded up.
Very important for the quartermaster, especially if he's trying to gain a little bit of trust from the quartermaster and he's telling the keeper of names at the same time, buy more troops, buy more troops.
Right. So
hey, look, I promise, I'll get him half rations.
Right. And so he can use his renown to bank favors and use those favors to help himself and help the warband, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, the other thing that he can do with a favor is if he has a favor from a particular character, so like this is the Warmaster's favor,
Right.
and the Warmaster has a follower when he's in skirmish. Normally, you can spend 1 renown token for your follower that you control to take the hit for you as long as it's near you. If the Warmaster's was near the Bannerman of the Thane, he could say, oh, I'm spending this token, and if the Warmaster's guy was near him, he can take the blow for him
So
instead.
he can spend tokens to make
He's too important to die.
Yeah, other roles followers take hits for him just as if they were his without spending renown. He still has to spend renown for his follower though.
So as you can see, he's got 3 different locations where he can spend renown to gain power, but he also has deeds of valor that he has to worry about, and probably even spending some renown to kind of convince the keeper of names to buy some troops.
Right. He wants to do well so that he can use the deeds of valor to level himself up, because the cost to level up through deeds of valor is a whole lot cheaper than trying to just level up your guy on your own. And
Yeah.
so the economy for him is he can spend renown to bank renown in the favors and really take advantage of those kinds of things if he's doing enough to gain valor and level up his guy. Because you don't want to enter fall or winter with a low ranking bannerman or you're
No.
doomed.